Bitcoin has finally had a weekly candle close below the 50-week SMA, and as far as I'm concerned, the bull market as a whole has concluded. Please join our Discord if you're looking for a community to talk about crypto, stocks, and finance in general. We also have a weekly live stream, and if you want to come on and say what you want to say, we will take anybody. Just join the Discord, shoot me a message, and let me know. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Monday. Welcome back to the beginning of the week. Thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers. This channel is growing way faster than I expected. And honestly, I'm excited that I get to document everything, especially going into a bear market. Because I know usually in a bear market, people aren't paying attention to crypto. But I think that within that time frame, I could build a very loyal following who will grow with me, because it's easy to get followers during a bull market, but during a bear market, that's when there's really no one around. So anyway, thank you again, and let's get straight into it. So Bitcoin has closed a weekly candle below the 50-week SMA, and historically, this has always been the beginning of the end for the bull market. Now, if we come here and we go look at 2022, you can see as soon as we got a candle close below the 50-week SMA, it was over. Now, if we come here, you could say, okay, we had a candle close right here. Yeah, we did rally to all-time highs. Came after we rallied to all-time highs, we fell. This was a little precursor telling us of what was to come. So even if we do rally up here, okay, it's a precursor to what's to come. So it's still possible that we rally up. Yeah, it's still possible. But the bull market as we know it is very likely over, or at least entering the beginning stages of the end. If we do bounce, I expect Bitcoin to get rejected at the 50-week SMA, and then we finally get our full-blown kind of reset into a bear market. And the only way that this could change is if Bitcoin gets back above the 50-week SMA, it turns it into support, and we start getting weekly candle closes above it. But for now, we're not seeing any of that. So until that comes, we cannot flip back to bullish or change our stance here. Now, of course, the next major chart that we've been covering is the USDT dominance. And you can clearly see here that this is breaking out. Okay, it had a weekly candle close above the triangle, the descending triangle, and it currently is above. It is possible that we close below, which would be a good sign for a reversal. But if we come to the lower time frames like the daily, you can clearly see that it has already closed multiple candles above this line, flipping it into support, which is not a good thing, because you guys need to remember, I'm not showing you guys short-term noise. I'm not showing you the 1-minute chart, the 5-minute chart, the 1-hour chart, the 4-hour chart. I'm showing you the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. And most of it is weekly and monthly. And the weekly and monthly charts have a lot of meaning, okay? When these things break, this is very critical structure breaking. This isn't short time frame trading. This is the overall market. And look at this descending triangle. This has been building since 2022. We can't just ignore this. If we look at how long this has been building from here to here. Okay, that's approximately 1,106 days. We are currently breaking out of a 1,000-day descending triangle. How can we ignore something like that? Now, if we come here and look at the monthly MACD, because again, Bitcoin's monthly MACD is breaking to the downside. This is breaking to the upside. These are monthly MACDs. These are not dailies. These are not hourly. This is the monthly. This is currently breaking out. If we come here to Bitcoins, it's perfectly breaking down because they're inversely correlated. Now, could this change by November? It's possible, but do we really want to risk waiting until the end of November to officially say then, yes, we're in a bear market? We could be much more down by then. We could be in very dangerous territory. Now, if we come here and look at this, every single time we have a bearish cross on the MACD, that indicates a bear market. Now, this only goes back to 2014. So let me see if I could pull up a chart that goes a little further back. This one does. Okay. So people might say, what about right here? We had one red candle and then we immediately went bullish again. But this was COVID. If COVID never happened, then this would have been green the entire time, right? And then we would have had a perfect cross into a bear market, and here we are having one as well. If we come back to 2017, you can see as soon as we had a cross, we went into a bear market. If we come back even further, we zoom out. Look at this. This is 2014, bearish cross into a bear market. Guys, this has happened all throughout history. Why would it be any different now? And I'm not seeing anybody talk about this right now. It's probably the most important indicator. It's happened in 2013. It's happened in 2017. It happened in 2022. It's happening right now after this long extended bull market, and nobody's talking about this. Now, I'm going to come here, bring up our 4-year cycle chart from halving to halving. I measure this from the halvings, and you can clearly see that this is pretty much playing out perfectly. We have a blow off top. I wouldn't really call it a blow off top, but we had a sneaky little top. We're finally falling into a bear market. If you look here, we could have a reversal. We could come back up. We could go to 107. We could go to 110. But, guys, it's over. Even if we do go back up, it's, as I said earlier in the video, it is a precursor of what's to come. Anyway, you can clearly see here that all of these are pretty even, all right? This was pretty much perfect. If you take from the halving, you measure 550 days, it's pretty much perfect. The top was so perfect, and I think that's what's going to keep people really in disbelief, because it was perfect. The timing was literally on the dot to the day, and people are just not going to be able to accept that it was really that easy. Anyway, I have my chart marked here, 76. I think we can go down to 60. I think that's extremely reasonable. If we take from top to bottom here, it's about 50%. I'd say 60, maybe 55. I think that's extremely reasonable. I think the timing was perfect. The structure was clean. The end of the cycle was just too perfect. And I don't know if that's a trap. I don't know if it's so perfect that it actually got people trapped, or it's so perfect that it will keep people trapped in the market. Or maybe we have a reversal and then we go back to all-time highs. But as I said, close below the 50 is a precursor to what's to come. Now, for short-term outlook, if we pull this up on the MACD on the daily, give me a second. Okay, you can clearly see momentum is slowly going down. So it's definitely possible that we get a reversal. But if we get a reversal and it's the end of the month and we are still below the 50-week SMA and the monthly MACD is still red and we get a red close on November, then 100% we are in a bear market. I'd say that we're already in one, 99.99%, but it's 100% solidified as soon as the MACD closes bearish for the month, in my opinion. We'll see what happens, but moving forward, I'm going to stay on the stance that the bear market is happening. And honestly, I think it's a good thing. Now that we're out of the market, we could finally make different content, informative content, planning what we are going to do, instead of constantly trying to track the top, which is quite annoying, especially when there's not much to talk about. We've been on a long journey. I know I've only had this channel for a couple months. Glad that I'm finally documenting it no matter what. We're going to get to restart, rebuild, and prepare for the next cycle. I'm going to make videos on updated portfolios for the bear market, DCA strategies, how to prepare financially for the bear market, how we're going to make $1 million next cycle. Thank you guys for 100 subs again. Everybody get your McDonald's hats on. Start working, start grinding, save every penny. And we're going to make $1 million next cycle. Let's go. See you tomorrow. Peace.